Soviet citizens lived beneath constant fear because secret police could arrest innocent families during midnight raids without warning. Neighbors avoided trusting each other since casual conversations sometimes reached government informants seeking political rewards. Millions entered labor camps after accusations involving imagined crimes, foreign sympathy, or criticism against communist leaders. Joseph Stalin expanded surveillance networks aggressively, causing ordinary workers to hide opinions even from close relatives. Children occasionally reported parents to authorities because schools promoted loyalty toward the Soviet state above family bonds. Farmers resisting collectivization lost homes, crops, and livestock, while armed officials seized grain across rural territories. Ukrainian villages suffered catastrophic famine conditions during the early 1930s after impossible food quotas destroyed supplies. Citizens waited inside endless bread lines because shortages affected major Soviet cities despite promises of industrial success. Fear spread throughout factories whenever managers demanded impossible production goals, supported by punishment for missed targets. Writers, musicians, and scientists faced censorship whenever creative work challenged official communist ideology or government propaganda. Public trials displayed frightened defendants confessing fabricated conspiracies after brutal interrogations conducted inside secret prisons. Entire communities disappeared suddenly after deportations transported minorities toward distant regions with severe weather and starvation. Soviet labor camps stretched across frozen wilderness where prisoners survived exhausting work beneath dangerous Arctic temperatures daily. Inmates constructed railways, mined precious resources, and chopped forests while guards monitored movements using armed patrol towers. Prisoners received tiny food portions containing black bread and watery soup that rarely prevented severe malnutrition conditions. Many detainees entered gulags after petty accusations involving stolen grain, political jokes, or missed workplace expectations. Harsh winters killed countless inmates because worn clothing provided little protection against freezing Siberian winds and snowstorms. Disease spread rapidly through overcrowded barracks, lacking sanitation, medicine, and adequate heating during brutal winter nights. Exhausted workers collapsed frequently while transporting heavy materials across muddy construction sites surrounded by barbed wire fences. Letters from families arrived rarely because censorship restricted communication between prisoners and relatives living far away. Some prisoners survived longer by trading handmade tools, cigarettes, or extra bread inside underground camp economies secretly. Former soldiers, teachers, engineers, and artists shared barracks together, despite completely different backgrounds before imprisonment. Guards punished failed labor quotas harshly because Soviet officials measured productivity using unrealistic industrial expectations constantly. Survivors later described Gulag existence as endless psychological terror mixed with hunger, isolation, and physical exhaustion daily. Soviet stores often contained empty shelves because central planners struggled balancing production across massive national territories. Families collected ration coupons carefully, since meat, butter, and sugar remained difficult to purchase throughout difficult periods. Citizens awoke before sunrise, hoping long queues outside shops might provide bread before supplies disappeared completely again. Apartment kitchens became crowded gathering spaces where neighbors exchanged rumors about hidden markets selling restricted consumer goods. Black market traders earned profits secretly because official stores rarely offered enough clothing, medicine, or household necessities. Rural villagers depended heavily upon personal gardens because government farms frequently failed delivering sufficient agricultural products consistently. Factory workers accepted exhausting schedules despite low wages because employment remained controlled entirely by state authorities everywhere. Many Soviet families repaired shoes repeatedly since quality products remained scarce across both villages and industrial urban centers. Imported Western electronics appeared luxurious because ordinary citizens usually purchased outdated domestic technology with limited reliability. Housewives spent several hours daily searching different markets, attempting to secure eggs, potatoes, or cooking oil supplies. Economic propaganda praised communist success continuously, while ordinary residents privately recognized growing shortages throughout national industries. Citizens learned patience through hardship because unpredictable supply systems shaped everyday survival inside Soviet communities constantly. Soviet newspapers published carefully controlled stories, presenting communist leaders as heroic protectors, guiding national progress successfully. Radio broadcasts repeated government achievements continuously while hiding industrial disasters, famines, corruption, and military failures completely. Books criticizing communism disappeared quickly because censorship offices monitored publishers, libraries, and educational institutions very closely. Artists faced career destruction whenever paintings, songs, or films portrayed Soviet society negatively or questioned party authority. Schools taught children idealized history lessons, celebrating revolution victories while ignoring millions suffering during political purges nationwide. Foreign magazines remained restricted because authorities feared citizens might compare Soviet conditions with Western living standards openly. Travelers returning from foreign countries experienced intense questioning regarding conversations, observations, and potential contact with outsiders abroad. Television programs emphasized patriotic achievements constantly, while avoiding discussions involving poverty, crime, or government incompetence internally. Journalists risked imprisonment whenever investigations exposed corruption among powerful officials managing factories or regional administrations secretly. Underground writers distributed banned literature carefully through hidden networks operating beneath constant surveillance from security services. Listening to foreign radio stations sometimes invited suspicion because authorities considered outside information politically dangerous for society. Propaganda posters covered city streets aggressively, promising glorious futures despite difficult realities experienced by ordinary Soviet citizens. The KGB maintained enormous surveillance systems, tracking suspected dissidents, intellectuals, and religious believers across Soviet territories constantly. Apartment buildings occasionally contained hidden informants reporting suspicious behavior directly toward local security officials without hesitation. Citizens avoided discussing politics publicly because undercover agents could interpret criticism as anti-Soviet activity, requiring punishment immediately. Telephones sometimes produced strange sounds, causing families to suspect conversations were monitored secretly by intelligence agencies regularly. University students risked expulsion after expressing independent political opinions, challenging communist ideology during classroom debates openly. Religious gatherings operated carefully because churches, mosques, and synagogues experienced restrictions from officially atheist government authorities. Dissidents publishing forbidden essays often endured harassment, interrogations, and forced psychiatric confinement ordered by state institutions. Security officers searched homes unexpectedly while confiscating typewriters, letters, photographs, and privately recorded political discussions frequently. Fear encouraged silence because defending arrested neighbors occasionally attracted dangerous attention from suspicious local authorities afterward. Border security remained extremely strict since Soviet leadership feared defections toward Western countries during Cold War tensions internationally. Travelers needed official permission for movement because internal passports regulated residents within important Soviet industrial cities carefully. Constant observation created psychological pressure, causing many citizens to suppress emotions, creativity, and honest conversations throughout adulthood.
Massive apartment blocks dominated Soviet cities because governments prioritized rapid construction over comfort and architectural beauty consistently. Families squeezed inside tiny communal apartments where multiple households shared kitchens, bathrooms, and noisy hallways together daily. Privacy remained extremely limited because thin walls allowed neighbors hearing arguments, music, and private conversations very easily. Waiting lists for housing lasted years, since urban migration increased rapidly alongside expanding industrial development projects nationwide. Broken elevators trapped elderly residents frequently inside upper floors of aging concrete apartment complexes throughout winter months. Heating systems malfunctioned regularly, causing freezing indoor temperatures despite brutal weather conditions across northern Soviet regions annually. Water shortages interrupted daily routines because infrastructure problems affected millions living within overcrowded residential neighborhoods continuously. Children played near deteriorating buildings, surrounded by cracked sidewalks, exposed pipes, and poorly maintained public spaces everywhere. Rural villages lacked modern facilities because development priorities focused heavily upon factories and military-related industries mainly. Citizens decorated cramped apartments creatively, attempting to create warmth inside gray environments shaped by economic limitations constantly. Government planners emphasized efficiency rather than individuality, resulting in repetitive residential blocks covering entire urban districts widely. Despite difficult conditions, neighbors sometimes formed strong communities by sharing food, childcare, and emotional support during hardship. Communist authorities promoted atheism aggressively, while restricting religious traditions practiced for centuries across Soviet territories historically. Thousands of churches closed permanently because officials converted sacred buildings into warehouses, museums, or government offices instead. Priests, monks, and religious teachers faced arrests whenever authorities accused them of spreading anti-communist influence among citizens. Muslim communities experienced cultural pressure because Soviet leadership attempted controlling religious education throughout Central Asian republics carefully. Jewish citizens encountered discrimination occasionally, despite official claims promoting equality between different ethnic communities nationally. Traditional celebrations disappeared gradually, since state-approved holidays replaced many historic customs connected with religious identity publicly. Indigenous minorities suffered forced assimilation because authorities encouraged Russian language dominance within education and administration systems everywhere. Cultural performers required official approval before presenting artistic works reflecting local traditions or historical memories publicly. Secret religious ceremonies continued quietly inside homes because many families refused abandoning spiritual beliefs despite government pressure. Historic monuments deteriorated after neglect because preservation received lower priority than industrial expansion and military development projects instead. Some writers protected cultural identity secretly through literature containing hidden criticism towards Soviet ideological restrictions creatively. Suppression created lasting resentment among communities whose languages, beliefs, and customs faced constant political interference for decades. Soviet citizens lived beside constant military tension because nuclear conflict with Western powers seemed possible during Cold War crises. School drills prepared children for potential attacks by teaching emergency responses involving shelters, gas masks, and evacuation routines. Young men entered mandatory military service, where harsh discipline shaped everyday existence inside distant army barracks across the nation. Defense spending consumed enormous resources, while consumer industries struggled providing adequate goods for ordinary civilian populations consistently. Veterans returning from Afghanistan described brutal combat conditions rarely discussed openly within controlled Soviet media environments publicly. Families mourned soldiers quietly because official reports minimized casualties connected with controversial foreign military operations abroad. Border regions contained heavy military presence, including tanks, missiles, and surveillance installations guarding strategic Soviet territories carefully. Nuclear shelters appeared beneath certain cities, reflecting widespread fears surrounding catastrophic global conflict between superpowers internationally. Scientific achievements involving rockets and space exploration often supported military objectives alongside national prestige campaigns simultaneously. Propaganda portrayed Western nations as dangerous enemies threatening socialist survival through espionage, sabotage, and economic pressure constantly. Citizens practiced caution regarding foreign contact because authorities suspected outside influence might weaken communist political loyalty internally. Decades of international hostility created exhausting psychological stress, affecting generations raised beneath nuclear uncertainty and ideological rivalry. The Chernobyl disaster exposed dangerous secrecy because authorities delayed informing citizens about deadly radioactive contamination spreading outward immediately. Firefighters approached the burning reactor unknowingly, suffering severe radiation exposure while attempting emergency containment efforts immediately. Nearby residents continued normal routines initially because officials withheld accurate information regarding invisible radioactive dangers surrounding communities. Thousands evacuated hurriedly, carrying limited belongings, while military vehicles entered contaminated regions near the destroyed nuclear facility afterward. Soviet television minimized disaster severity, despite foreign monitoring stations detecting unusual radiation levels across European countries quickly. Cleanup workers called liquidators faced dangerous assignments removing radioactive debris from rooftops using primitive protective equipment repeatedly. Abandoned schools, apartments, and amusement parks remained frozen in time after evacuation emptied entire nearby towns permanently. Scientists criticizing official responses encountered resistance because government institutions feared public outrage and international embarrassment greatly. Contaminated farmland created long-term health concerns affecting agricultural production and surrounding populations for many subsequent years. Parents worried constantly about illnesses because radiation exposure increased anxiety regarding future medical complications among children especially. The catastrophe damaged trust deeply, since citizens recognized leaders prioritized political reputation above public safety during emergencies sometimes. Chernobyl became a global symbol representing failures connected with secrecy, bureaucracy, and negligence inside Soviet governance structures. Economic stagnation weakened Soviet stability because inefficient industries failed competing with rapidly changing global technological developments internationally. Mikhail Gorbachev introduced reforms attempting modernization, yet political openness unexpectedly encouraged criticism against communist leadership nationwide. Demands for greater freedoms appeared openly because decades of censorship and shortages created widespread frustration throughout Soviet society gradually. Nationalist movements expanded strongly as republics sought independence from centralized control exercised by Moscow authorities historically. Empty stores and rising inflation increased public anger because everyday hardships worsened during final years before Soviet collapse completely. Television broadcasts revealed corruption scandals openly, shocking citizens accustomed previously to carefully controlled government information systems. Massive demonstrations filled city streets while protesters demanded democratic reforms and accountability from aging communist officials publicly. Hardline leaders attempted a coup during 1991, but resistance weakened remaining Soviet political authority dramatically afterward. Soviet flags disappeared gradually from government buildings as republics declared sovereignty and independent national identities confidently. Families faced uncertainty because savings lost value rapidly during chaotic economic transitions following communist system disintegration nationwide. Former citizens remembered achievements proudly, yet many also recalled fear, shortages, and repression shaping everyday Soviet existence deeply. The Soviet Union officially dissolved in December 1991, ending one of history's most powerful communist states forever.